Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to CED's Live from the show. We're at SCTE Cable-Tec Expo 2014. Going to visit at the very busy booth of RGB Networks with Andy Salo, who's Vice President of Product Management. It's an interesting time, Andy, to talk to you guys because of so much that's going on in the world of video, a real transformation with transcoding formats and multiple bit rates and a pronounced movement to the cloud. So
yes.
We also have some news to report today because you guys have just issued some. So
yeah.
Why don't we start to talk about what you guys are announcing right now?
I'd be happy to. So it was actually last year's show that RGB became the first company to launch an end-to-end video delivery solution on OpenStack, and we call that Cloud Extreme. In fact, you and I talked about that last year.
Right.
This year, and now it's funny because last year nobody was talking about OpenStack, and now everybody's talking about OpenStack clouds. This year we're building on that cloud initiative, and we are launching our intent to open source our software-based transcoder. And it's called the RipCode transcoder, sort of as an homage to our engineering team that's from RipCode, the company we acquired in 2010. And it will be kind of the industry's first open source commercial grade transcoder.
Well, congrats on the announcement, and let's do a brief sidebar for terminology. Transcoding, I think, is a well understood term, but can you just give us a little 101 on what that's all about?
Sure, transcoding, so sometimes people confuse transcoding and encoding or use them one and the same. Encoding really just means you're taking in a baseband signal and just doing one encode for it. Transcoding means you're decoding something and then re-encoding it in another format.
Okay, so I'm interested in the approach you guys are taking to adopt an open source approach to this software development. Why? What's the reason?
Well, so what we believe the industry needs is we need a full software transcoder that can be cloud enabled. We decided to take the path of we're going to take what was our commercial transcoder and use that plus a cluster manager, what we call RipCode Cluster Manager, and it will be an open source platform that does full linear and VOD transcoding, has full cluster management capability, load balancing, redundancy, a GUI, all the features that you would expect. And the two key ones that really make it important are the open APIs, so we can integrate with other platforms, and secondarily the cloud orchestration. So being able to take a RipCode transcoder, and with that we are announcing an OpenStack plugin, which will allow you to orchestrate that RipCode transcoder in an OpenStack environment.
It's kind of a testament, right, to the changing business conditions, because I think transcoding used to be a profit center for some companies, and maybe still is, but you're really trying to enable a bigger environment or ecosystem, right? Is that fair?
Yeah, that's very, very astute. So what we're trying to do is make it so that other people can plug into the architecture more easily and have more cloud-enabled applications. Transcoding is sort of the meat and potatoes, and there are other values around a transcoding and video delivery ecosystem like network DVR and ad insertion, and those are the values that we provide.
Okay, so Andy, I love the name RipCode. You talked about its derivation, but can you talk drill down a little bit more into what makes that, the RipCode transcoder, distinct in this marketplace?
Yes, so the RipCode transcoder is really about, will be the first open source transcoder, and it's really a transcoder platform. So we'll have the full cluster management capability, it will have the open APIs, and will be orchestrated in a cloud way. So those are kind of the unique capabilities of the RipCode transcoder.
And then just kind of piggybacking on that, because cloud is such a big part of where you guys are going and where the industry is going. So what's the interplay of cloud with RipCode, and how do they kind of play off of one another, if you will?
Yes, great question. So, within a cloud environment, I mean, the key is that you're going to need open APIs to integrate with other platforms. One of the things that we always get involved in deployment in various operator customers is, having a integration with, every other vendor that is part of that ecosystem, and it makes it difficult. Every single one of those is a custom custom deployment. And so to try to change that, we're trying to make sure that we have an open set of APIs that is published, that everybody can write to, and that codec vendors can plug into as well, and make it easier for HEVC and other new codecs to be adopted.
I know the announcement just came out today, but do you have collaborators at this point who are working with you in this?
We do. We've had so much interest in this. We're very pleased. We have over a dozen companies that have signed on. We have 3 major Tier 1 operators in North America. We have in Latin America, we have Cable, which is part of Grupo Heavy. And then we have a number of vendors and HEV codec vendors such as Intel, eBrisk, Divix, Squid Systems, Idiom. I mean, there's about a dozen or so that are involved, and we're very excited about that.
That constellation is already starting to evolve. It's nice to be able to talk about some sort of breaking news on the show floor. So appreciate you sharing the announcement with us, but also kind of giving some context around where the video, transformation is.
Yeah, we believe this. The combination of cloud plus a RipCode or open source transcoder with those APIs has the opportunity to transform the industry with a more software-defined networking approach to deploying data centers. So we're excited.
At the cusp of a video revolution is RGB Networks. Andy, thanks for taking some time to visit with us today. Enjoyed catching up again. Thank you for watching. For CED and live from the show, I'm Stuart Schlott.